Miami Dolphins went 10-6 this year, but just could not get enough going offensively besides Fitch magic time to get themselves into the playoffs. Tua looked like a rookie, so some changes had to be made. In one, offensive coordinator Chan Gailey resigning. It was really just like a Norv Turner resigning. It's like, yeah, hey, quit before we fire you. So cool. So that adds another name to the offensive coordinator market that the Vikings should have a vested interest in, since Gary Kubiak is leaning towards retirement. Probably going to retire, let's be honest. And now I think that the Vikings still will stay in-house with Clint Kubiak, because Zimmer talked about continuity, and the offense was pretty damn good in 2020. Certainly wasn't the problem. But Chan Gailey is an interesting name to keep an eye on, given his history with Zimmer and Spielman and Kubiak, for that matter. And also, remember, Zimmer has 3 criteria for offensive coordinators, given his time here in Minnesota. Old guy, former head coach, run the ball. So sometimes you get 2 out of 3, which that ain't bad according to Meatloaf. And also, Chan Gailey would be the first Asian NFL offensive coordinator since Norm Chow. Cool. And by the way, Chan Gailey should be in the Hall of Fame for giving us Fitz magic. I mean, straight up. So he made his career in Buffalo and then just really started that entire dynasty. Let's go. So let's talk about Chan Gailey today. Background, 69 years young. Nice. 21 years of NFL experience. Was former head coach of the Cowboys, 98-99, as well as the Buffalo Bills, 2010 to 2012. Also was a head man at Georgia Tech in Atlanta from 2002 to 07. He was Megatron's college coach. He was trying to install a vertical passing game with triple option talent. He had Reggie Ball throwing to Megatron, which is just great. Also, at various OC stops with the Broncos, Steelers, Dolphins the first time, Chiefs, Jets, and then the Dolphins the second time. So now there has been significant Chan Gailey crossover. So Zimmer was the defensive backs coach in Dallas under Chan Gailey for 2 years, 1998 to 99, as well as Chan Gailey was the Dolphins OC for 2 seasons, 2001, when Spielman was in Miami working personnel. And then also, so Chan Gailey was assistant for the Broncos under Dan Reeves from 85 to 1990, when Gary Kubiak was a player for the Broncos. Remember, he was John Elway's backup for a number of years, including a season where he was the QB coach in 88, as well as the offensive coordinator in 1989 to 1990. So he does check 2 of the boxes. Old guy, former head coach, right? But bonus that they work together, as well as you'll be able to glean some decent intents. Like, hey, Gary Kubiak, well, how was this guy like in the 80s? Cool. And then also stylistically, does this make sense? Not really. Not really. So Chan Gailey is an advocate of spreading it out and chucking it all over the yard. Miami ran 11 personnel, aka 3 wide receivers, 54% of their offensive snaps in 2020. Vikings only 29%, by far the lowest in the NFL, but that could be more, personnel. And also, Chan Gailey is much more aggressive vertically in the passing game, which has worked great with Fitzmagic the times that they've been together in Buffalo and Miami. Not so much with Tua, who I think will actually benefit more from being in more of a traditional West Coast scheme. But also, in terms of running the ball, he has primarily run a zone-based running scheme in the past. And also, it'd be really obtuse and selling him short to think that just because he's been an advocate of the deep ball, it's like all of a sudden, oh, you got Dalvin Cook? Yeah, the second best running back in the league. We're not going to run the ball, right? As well as you have one of the better run-blocking offensive lines in place, and also you have a mandate from Zimmer to be like, we're just going to chuck it 40 times a game. Probably not going to happen, right? So I think that if he was brought on board here in some capacity, he would keep the integrity of the run game going forward, as well as helping make the passing game even more explosive than it was in 2020. Fixing the offensive line pass protection. Plus, you got Jefferson, you got Thielen, and Cousins is one of the best deep ball quarterbacks in the NFL. So you can make a stew that's already pretty good, and then baby, you have an even better stew going in 2021. Woo! Also, he's adaptable. So he took his style from vertical attacking, and then he paired it in and meshed it with Georgia Tech's historic triple option offense. And then also, he was one of the first NFL coaches to introduce RPOs in the NFL a couple years ago, before it really became in vogue. So, I mean, this is a great offensive mind. He really is. Now, maybe Zimmer really likes Clint Kubiak, but maybe he's not quite ready to give him the reins quite yet. Very similar to Kevin Stefanski in 2018, where Zimmer wanted to give it to Stefanski, just couldn't quite do it, and then John DeFilippo came on for 13 games. Awesome, right? And then also, Zimmer could see Chan Gailey as more of a mentor for Clint Kubiak, even though he's the OC in name, sort of a caretaker of the offense, before giving it over to Clint. if people still have jobs in a year. I don't know. I think at minimum, like maybe it's not offensive coordinator. Maybe the Vikings do elevate Clint Kubiak, which I still think is the most likely outcome in this spot. Hopefully not Dennison. And then maybe the Vikings bring Chan Gailey on board as an offensive consultant. Very similar to how Dom Capers is operating on that defensive side of the ball. Help juice up the vertical passing game. You still keep a running game. Clint Kubiak, he's going to listen to his elders, listen to Pops, listen to Chan Gailey, listen to Mike Zimmer as well, and then get after it from there. Also, it's weird. So since Chan Gailey coached Gary Kubiak in the 80s, that he probably knew Clint Kubiak when he was a child, which is just, man, nepotism in the NFL and generations, it can be funny at times. But anyways, your thoughts, Chan Gailey? I think it's going to happen. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.